Hey guys, welcome to episode number 18 of the Derby Current Live, and to start off this episode, we're currently on 63 points after 34 games. We do have the Carabao Cup final in this episode. We do have QPR though to kick it off away at Loftus Road. We also should have the FA Cup game in this episode. I'm not too sure, it might go to extra time and penalties in that final, so it really does depend on when the Sheffield United game does end, of course. So yeah, we've got a couple of really important cup games. But even the league game, against QPR is still very, very important. Sheffield Wednesday, Millwall, Reading, Preston. There's a nice run of games here to pick up some points, but that one there may be quite important against Nottingham Forest, because as you can see, they are currently 2 points ahead of us. I think Sheffield Wednesday are quite high up as well. They were in the playoffs, but now still technically only a few points away. But yeah, QPR to kick it off are currently on 39 points. So let's head straight into that game. I think away from home at Loftus Road will be quite difficult. I think we'll use our black kit. Here we are then for the QPR game at Loftus Road. We've gone for quite a different team, but still should be able to get the result. Waghorn and Jozasun out on the wings, Holmes at the cam position, Evans and Shinnie holding, then Curtis Davis coming in the defence with Andre Wisdom. Yeah, there's not much off the bench, but I think basically the fitness was slightly low on quite a few players, and I thought let's just rest them for the Carabao Cup game, because I don't mind dropping points against QPR, but obviously we still would like to get the win. They've got Kelly in goal, Rowan and Mattison in the defence, then Wallace and KK at Kakai. I'm not too sure who he is at right back, but then Amos and Ball, Duncan Chair, Osei Samuel and Naki Wells up top. Right, trying to win the ball off the defender here, does well. Shinnie into Holmes, can he get himself into a dangerous area in the box? Done well to cut inside on his left boot now with the shot into the back of the net. Dwayne Holmes, the American, with the goal to make it 1-0. I was a little bit worried without any Rooney in the team, but I think he's done okay so far. Hasn't had the most amount of game time, of course, with that injury he had for a few weeks. Waghorn with the ball here out wide. Cuts inside to Evans, cross to Shinnie. Can Shinnie get the ball over the top here for Wisdom? Now inside to Jozasun. Great ball into his path. Pulls it back for Dwayne Holmes with the shot straight at the keeper. It's a nice bit of play, but no end product. A bit of dribbling there from Holmes to get it into Marriott, but not really any options for Marriott at the minute. Now to Holmes in the box. Kind of pull it across the face of goal. Waghorn's there at the back post to make it 2-0 and to get us into a comfortable position going into the second half. Opportunity as well to maybe rest a few players just for that cup game, of course. Might sub off Marriott now. There we go, full time against QPR. We have won at 2-0 away from home. Very nice victory, especially with a weaker team. That's the main thing. We managed to rest players and still get the result. Dwayne Holmes at cam, definitely an option. Here we go then, the Carabao Cup final against Sheffield United. I may do the press conference for this since it is a cup final. Huddleston, I potentially will play for this game. We do have the scout report here. It looks like our players still, yeah, it basically just makes them more precise with the potentials and stuff like that, and the ratings. So that's kind of cool to see. But as I said, at this point of the season where we're in such a tight position in terms of trying to get youngsters involved, it is a little bit difficult. As you can see, Martin Waghorn is currently the top goal scorer. As long as McGoldrick doesn't score 2 goals in this game, we'll get that accolade. So yeah, let's go into the press conference, see if there's any other different questions to usual in a cup final. There's no real precise questions that I was kind of expecting to do with getting to the final. There was a little bit. It was like, oh, your player's tired after playing so many games to get to the final. But here we are for the cup final. They're not the best of kits from Sheffield United. I think we'll go for the yellow kit, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too sunny at Wembley. We have got Rooney, Marriott, Bowen and Bogle all fit, of course. I think I will slot Huddleston into that position. Put Dowell onto the bench for him, and probably... See, the question is, I think I start with Martin Waghorn, because he's been doing quite well recently. I'm also going to put Malone at left back. Here we are then at Wembley for the Carabao Cup final. It's our first time at Wembley. Hopefully our last time, unless we get to the FA Cup final this season, because I don't want to go through the playoffs. I want to get promoted automatically in the top two, because the playoffs are very scary and not very nice at all. So hopefully this is the one time we play at Wembley, unless we get to the cup final, the FA Cup, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. So Sheffield United is today's opponent. Just skip through these and have a look at the two lineups. We've gone for Waghorn on the left hand side. I think he's been doing well recently. Malone in the defence and Huddleston in the centre defensive midfielder role. They obviously play their 5-3-2. They've got Dean Henderson in goal, then Baldock, Egan, Basham, Elvedi, I'm not too sure who he is, he seems like a new signing, Ender Stevens, then Norwood, Crisante from Roma, and Caravecchi from I don't know where, and then Billy Sharp and McBurney up top. It's going to be interesting to see, because we haven't played, I think the only times we've played against this kind of formation is against like League One teams with Shrewsbury and Wimbledon, so they've not really done it with any real quality. So it'll be very interesting to see how we do today at Wembley. The only thing about this kit is they do blend in with the pitch a little bit too well because of the sun, which I was kind of not wanting, but they seem to stick out just enough. Murray with the ball here, chance to run into the gaps in between the back five. He's got the chance in the box, top left hand corner. 5 minutes into the game, Jack Marriott with the perfect start and exactly what we need, especially on ultimate difficulty. The first goal is everything. It's such a lifted weight. Just to break through, obviously, just ran through out wide. It was a tight angle, and I was probably expecting Dean Henderson to do a bit better, but that is Jack Marriott's goal. He is now the top goal scorer in the EFL Cup, taking it off Martin Waghorn. Now with Marriott on the edge of the box, going to lay off Rooney. Can he go around the last defender? Yes, he can. Across the goal, into the back of the net. Wayne Rooney gets us into a very comfortable position just before the 20th minute. And I should start like sketching our name into that trophy now. I think like when you get to like 2-0 on ultimate difficulty, it's very, I don't know. I feel like you know when you're going to win a game. When it's difficult, you can tell, and when it's easy. As I said before, like the only teams we've played a 5-3-2 against are Wimbledon and Shrewsbury, who we pretty much walked over in those games. Ooh, that's a poor pass from Clark. It's through for McBurney with the shot and into the back of the net. It's definitely not game over. Bit of an error on my half there to give Sheffield United a chance back into the game. And it may wake them up, this goal, obviously going 2-0 down. Yeah, I think, I'm sure I pointed at Malone, but clearly it's gone to a different player, and they've made it 2-1. Down to Huddleston, across to Marriott. Rooney's on the edge here. Can he get a decent shot off? Blocked by one defender. Through for Shinnie with the shot in the box, and we have extended it back to the 2-goal lead. Graham Shinnie this time, I think on his weaker foot, but I think he has got like 4-star weak foot. If I had to tell you player of the season at the minute, I'd give it Graham Shinnie, honestly, because he's been wonderful in the midfield. Like, Rooney gets the goals, of course, but Shinnie he turns the defence into to attack. So, you know, you got to have that kind of glue in the team, and that's his goal in the cup final, and potentially getting us a trophy. Waghorn with the ball out wide to Scott Malone. Can we get it on the edge here to... I was looking for Rooney, but it's gone to Marriott, who's clearly offside by a mile. But Rooney was on the edge of the box there. He could have done something quite similar. Rooney with one last attack for us in the first half. It's going to Jack Marriott. Can he get into the box? Yes, he can now with the shot saved by Dean Henderson. There's about a minute left in the game. And get one more attack from this corner. What I tend to do is just flick it to the edge of the box and then have a shot. And Henderson's made another very good save there. Very eventful first half. 4 goals so far. There's still chance for Sheffield United to turn it around, of course. Like sometimes in the games, like they've had 1 shot, 1 goal. Yeah, sometimes in the games there's literally like a switch happens and the computer just all of a sudden becomes very, very strong. Shinnie inside to down. A lot of space for Josephson if we can get him into it. Now with the chance to make it 4-1. Josephson off the crossbar and into the back of the net, and that is game over. It's been a pretty quiet second half. I was expecting a lot more from Sheffield United, I'm not going to lie. It's been a pretty easy affair. And that does mean we should have Europa League football for next season, so that's something to definitely consider. Almost jumping a step forwards in terms of what I'd normally expect, like to get promoted first season, then in the Premier League avoid relegation, then look to get European football. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we can juggle both Europe and surviving the Premier League at the same time. Chance here for Sheffield United to get a goal. It's gone into the box. Nobody's won the header, and it is on to Callum Robinson, I think that is, with the goal. Not too worried with 7 minutes remaining. I don't think they're going to turn the score around, but that is 4-2 on the score sheet. There we go, full time against Sheffield United. We have won the Carabao Cup final in our very first season. Other than Man United, it was quite an easy affair in terms of the route to the final. We'll have a look after this game to see the full route, but I can only really remember Man United. I'm trying to think who we played. Who did we play in the semi-final? Bournemouth it was, yeah, Bournemouth in the two-leg affair. So there hasn't been, I don't know, I feel like the final against Man United would have been better. But silverware in the first season's fantastic. Hopefully it's the first of many at this career mode, and Huddleston will be the man lifting the trophy. As I said, he's wonderful. It's just the stamina is just such a downfall on him. It's you know, it's one of those things where if the edit player feature worked, I'd put his stamina up to like 55-60 just to make him usable. Like 55-60 isn't exactly amazing, but here we go, lifting that EFL trophy, which everyone loves to lift, and we have won the cup, first of many. I think Van der Voort will be pretty much in the team throughout the entire career mode. I don't see a point where he's not going to play. At 17 at the minute, he's 71 rated, so if we can get him up to 80s, maybe even 90s, literally anything can happen. Not too sure if any of these like animations are new here. This one might be new. I don't remember the players like running over with the trophy. It's normally just on the plinth in the middle, but we've got Ben Amer in the background. You can see his absolutely massive beard. Rooney's there. But yeah, in real life, the Barnsley game happened a day or two ago when I'm recording this, and players like Lawrence and Bennett played, and I didn't agree with that, and we drew the game. So it's not like they made a difference. They weren't critical to the team. And I'm just glad that I've got rid of them in my career mode, honestly. So we'll just finish off that there and go into the post-match interview. There we go, we have won the Carabao Cup. Let's just, can we go back? No, we can't go back, so let's just advance and have a look at what the journey was. I don't think, yeah, as I said, there wasn't really anyone too big on the way to
just a couple of questions
the
for
final. Scott Malone being fantastic again at left back. Just the height and his overall ability is very good. Be interested to see if the manager rating goes up as well, since no, it's exactly the same at 94. So yeah, a couple of messages here. First one from Tom Huddleston. Did well in that game. It's just, it's just the fitness. It's just so frustrating. 120k added from that. Let's head into a bit of training then. May change. Who was I going to change? I might change Sibley to, what was he on at the minute? Passing or dribbling? He was on passing, so let's put him on to dribbling. Just because if you like basically stick him in one training session, it won't basically upgrade them well-roundedly. But there you go, we have had a bit of growth to Van der Voort to a 72 now. If we can get him up to like a 75 by the end of the season, more than happy with that in the Premier League. Bit of a shame Christian Bielik couldn't be involved in that last game against West Brom. But yeah, overall I'm quite happy with the overall balance of the squad. I don't think we've got too many of any real position. And yeah, let's just have a quick look and see the overall competition in the Carabao Cup. Obviously, we semi-final against Bournemouth, we won that 6-2 on aggregate. Man United in the previous round won that game 3-0 at Old Trafford. Then we had Cardiff, so pretty easy game again, Championship level. And then in the first, was it Doncaster first, or was there a team before Doncaster? Stevenage. So we had Stevenage, Doncaster, Cardiff, Man United, Bournemouth, and then Sheffield United. So it's not the most difficult of trophies to win. You know, not many teams are shouting about it, but it's nice for us, and does mean we do have European football, something to consider next season. So yeah, hopefully guys did enjoy this episode. It may be a bit of a shorter episode, but I thought I'd just chop it up a little bit just because of the cup final. I will get Bielik back into the team. You see, now that we're playing this formation, I could always put him back into the midfield and see how he does that, because we have upgraded his passing stats quite a bit since last time we played him there. Shows he's doing really well. I'm really glad whoever suggested him. Little bit weak at 78 strength, but at 20 years old I'm expecting it to go up a little bit more. That's the only thing, because Clark is just an absolute beast at the back with 91 strength. Compared to him, there is obviously a difference. Yeah, overall I'm happy with how the lineup's going. I'm going to keep Burden there for the time being, but yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this career mode with all the trophies that we're winning. We may even win the FA Cup if we can win the next episode against West Brom. We'll probably go up to the Millwall game. We'll try and stick to 3 games an episode. It's just because it was a cup final, I thought I'd make it a bit of a shorter episode. Also, the episodes are around like 20-30 minutes long, so it's nice sometimes just to have a bit of a different length one. So yeah, I may look, if we get the next episode up to Millwall, then finish off March with the episode after that. I could always do like a big episode if we are in the top 2 of the championship. We could always finish off the season with quite a big episode just to try and push for that top 2 position, which we do have a game in hand with. And if we do win that game in hand against Sheffield Wednesday, we go into the top 2 position. So great way to start off the next episode. If we can get through against West Brom in the cup and then go into the top 2, we're off to a very, very good end to the season. I will have a quick look and see who's the top goal scorers at the club still. I like to keep you guys informed with how everyone's doing with stats. So we've got Rooney on 23 goals, Wagon on 20 goals, 7 in the Carabao Cup, 5 in the Carabao Cup, 2 in the FA Cup. Yeah, makes sense. I didn't think he scored 20 goals, but yeah, he scored a lot of goals for us. Could potentially overtake Rooney. You know, like, you think about it, if Waghorn played 36 games, he probably would be higher than Rooney. But then again, you look at Marriott with 21 assists and 18 goals. That is just ridiculously good. 17 goals for Jarrod Bowen, obviously about 13 or 14 of those at Hull City. Chris Martin as well, doing really well, 22 contributions for him. Josephson with 23 contributions as well. Played the most amount of games for the team. Done really well so far in the career mode. A few goals are here. Shinnie with 16 assists as well. Like, it's kind of crazy how much goal contribution we've had. It is a little bit crazy. It's just trying to keep the clean sheets is what we may need to look at. Curtis Davis seems quite solid at the back. Yeah, it's one of those where I want to keep it entertaining, so the computer has to score. But yeah, defensively we do definitely need to improve. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. I'll have a quick look and see who's actually left in the FA Cup. Is that it? No, there's got to be more. Yeah, there's more teams. So there's a few big teams in there. We've got Chelsea and Man United to play each other, and that's only the big team left, Chelsea or Man United. Whoever win that game, wow, we could get 2 trophies in the first season. We could get 3 trophies if they win the league, but Stoke City, I think, are running away with it. So yeah, there's Watford, Cardiff, Leicester a little bit difficult, Swansea down in the relegation zone in the Championship, Brighton, MK Dons beat Palace. So again, like, if we beat West Brom and we beat Chelsea or Man United, you know, it's another potential trophies for us to win in this season. But maybe going out and concentrating on the league is what we should maybe look at, but we'll have to wait and see when it comes up. So yeah, I've rambled on for plenty of time now, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like, great, and if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.